kept fighting, and man, that's fun.
I know it's not your goal, but you keep entertaining us. We got to go back to end of regulation. Was there any thought in your mind of taking a 2? And was there hesitation, or were you always going to come back out?
I was going for the 2, and then Mikhail hit the ball, and I didn't know how much time was left, so I just tried to gather myself and knock the shot. I thought it was a 3. I tried to hit the celly, and it didn't work, but I finished it in overtime. So, man,
and you had to do the choke sign too, right?
Yeah. Everybody's been wanting me to do it. I was going to hold it for the right time. That felt appropriate, and then, it went to overtime. So, we're going to save it for later.
With all the incredible advice that Reggie Valera has given you in your personal relationship with him, was go for the kill, always go for the 3 and the win one of them?
Nah. Just go win the game.
Well, the assist was incredible, too. I mean, it took a full effort from everybody. But just to see the different levels, especially in a game where it felt like New York had control of this whole game, what was it like to see in the toughest moments?
Yeah, we played a lot of games where I felt like the other team had control.
Just picked up a foul for the New York Knicks. That's the second on Josh Hart. As Benedict Mathurin is checked in, Obi Toppin is checked in for Indiana. Same starting 5 out there for the Knicks. Hart gave Tyrese Halliburton a love tap as he was going through the lane there. That's 2 fouls already on Hart. Gibbard, step back 3. Well, already we talked about the pick and roll defense. So the Knicks now are switching now. In game 1, they were in drop coverage. Now it's been an all-out switch, coach. So that switch has got to be more aggressive than what it was. Brunson hard inside. Deflected by Toppin. Ricochets out of bounds. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Stan, what'd you take away from your conversation with the coaches before the game, both of them? Well, I think the main thing is both guys just want to get their teams back on track. Right? But the first game is gone now, whether you won or lost. You got to focus on what you got to do tonight, and that can, emotional even keel over the course of the series that they want to see. Indiana's brought in their third guy off the bench. That's Thomas Bryant. Mitchell Robinson just checked in for Towns, approaching 5 to play in the first. Bryant's going to have to keep Robinson off the offensive glass. Brunson mid-range shot, and it's his second one tonight. Pacers right there. Pacers outstanding tonight, turning the ball over. Only 7 times goes an Indiana foul. That'll go. Walking his way inside, Brent. Walking his way inside. Brunson, him hard there. Walking his way inside, Brunson, him hard there. There's a whistle, and there's a foul on the Knicks. Offensive foul. Brunson, little chicken wing by Brunson to the chest area of Nimhard. Look at this right here. Little clear out right there. Brunson picks up his first. Absolutely. We got McBride in for Josh Hart with those 2 fouls. He'll come out earlier than usual. And McBride has been terrific. Game 1, he had 12 points. A lot of speed. Well, they were plus 12 in the 25 and a half minutes that he was on the floor. I think he leads the Knicks in plus minus. Yes, in the playoffs. Bryant, Robinson out. Halliburton got the handoff and works on Bridges. Picked up by Brunson. Here come the Knicks on the move. When he's following, Brunson inside, kicks it on the wing. McBride, 3. This is when New York is at their best. When they can get out in transition before the Pacers can set that defense. Nimhard working in with a little sugar on the pass going right into Brunson. Knicks control it. McBride out of the box and off to the races with Brunson the other way trying to finish. And they go in and Bryant is holding his hand for Indiana. That's what you said, Reggie. In transition, you're dangerous. Brunson to McBride for 3. Indiana by 5 with 3:58 to go in the first. Whistle. Ayan mga boss, time out po tayo mga idol. Sa mga gusto ko itong humabol ng debate sa akin ay ngumiti siya, hindi ko siya kilala. Sa akin ay ngumiti siya, hindi ko siya kilala. Ako ay may... Send lang ng receiver, boss, para ma-process mo yung order mo, boss, ha? Yan, salamat. Bakit hindi... Ayan, ako po mismo ang kausap, mga boss, ha? Mismo ang kausap din, guys. PM lang po, mga boss. Cross court. Tapper knocked it away. Brunson. Prying his way into the paint. McBride. McBride will come in again. And give him the energy, life, and points. Absolutely. 5 points. Great defensive possession. We got a tie and a 10-0 run. Halliburton on top toward the spring. Shot clock in single digits. Brunson is on him. The foot get out of bounds. The quick twitch right there of Anunoby. Shot clock at 6. Tonight the NBA on TNT from Madison Square Garden. Brought to you by How to Train Your Dragon in theaters June 13th. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Well, the Knicks defensively, they are absolutely flying all over the floor here, Coach. So they really are. Since those first couple of minutes, where it was the Siakam show, their defense has really picked up. Siakam back in, there's the whistle. And a foul. So Halliburton is out, Neesmith is in. Nimhard is out, McConnell is in. Toppin is out, Siakam is in with a look at Thomas Bryant. Foul goes on Anunoby, number 1 for the Knicks. Siakam to the line for 3. Yes. Well, your conversations with Halliburton like Greg, I mean, if anybody can understand what he went through the other night, it's you. It's interesting, too, because you talk about the Knicks turning the page after that very disappointing game 1 loss. The Pacers are somewhat in the same boat because you can't be satisfied because you got game 1. And when you get to this level of a Final Four situation in the pro game, you got to assume that you got to win 2, sometimes a third time on the road. And I think him trying to recalibrate his team to refocus all their energies here in the game 2, Coach. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Indiana's been great on the road. They've won 5 straight road playoff games, and the Knicks only 3-4 here at Madison Square Garden in the playoffs. Siakam with a monster start for the Pacers with 14 points, only player in double figures so far. Brunson shadowed by Bryant, hands off. Neesmith on the defense. The 3 won't fall. The rebound inside. TJ lost it, could not control it. As McConnell is out of bounds off Indiana, New York's ball. That's the Mitchell Robinson effect right there. Getting a body, a hand, and just causing chaos underneath that offensive glass there for the Knicks. 4 offensive rebounds in game 1. Yeah, but what's even more deceptive? Knocked out bounds to them. 8 of them 3 at 5. Comes Mandarin. Good player out of Arizona on the wing to McConnell. A 10-year veteran who's bounced around the league, indispensable off the bench for Indiana. Robinson's on him. Knocked away another deflection. Another drive. A great play. Knicks defense, like you said, Reg, these last few minutes has been a lot different than what we saw throughout game 1. Mathurin sizes up Brunson. Rebound Robinson. Bridges. Mathurin in the way. Approaching a minute to play in the first. He'll drive and pry his way in. And here they go with Anunoby. Siakam with the bump in the defense. And the fadeaway, Anunoby. Robinson's got it. There's a loose ball. Foul. It's on Indiana inside. And that will go on Bryant. Number 2 on Bryant, but who else? On the offensive glass and Robinson. Here's the steal by OG. And it's off to the races again. The defense by the Knicks. Take away the first 4 or 5 minutes of this first quarter has been absolutely outstanding. I totally agree. And we didn't see even a 4 or 5 minute stretch of great defense from the Knicks. In game 1, their intensity much higher and their attention to detail much better. Pacers out of foul to give. Here comes Bridges across the lane. Tailed by Turner with a great fake. Down goes Turner. Another whistle inside. That's going to go on the Pacers. It goes on Turner, and he picks up his second. So they just took Bryant out of the able to play big or small. NBA on TNT tonight, brought to you by the Kia Telluride X-Line. Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA. And by AT&T, connecting changes everything. With Mikal Bridges at the free throw line. Game number 609 consecutive games played for the Iron Man. Offensive rebound, Anunoby. Brunson, he'll put up a three. Rebound to Robinson, collects it again. He has the machine inside. One offensive rebound after another. The assist from Brunson. But it's Mitchell Robinson who got it all started. Again, actually, Anunoby started it, got the first one. And then Mitchell Robinson another one. TJ McConnell. Siakam with the 14-point first quarter. Bridges there. And a beautiful stroke to put in a 16-point in the first quarter. Well, that's the third one where he's turned back to that right shoulder. Brunson shifting gears and putting up a teardrop. Robinson! Final seconds. Good if it goes. McConnell! No! And the first quarter in the books. With the Knicks by 2. Indiana led by 10. New York equals their biggest lead of 2. Brunson with the sweet fade. And finish off well by the high-flying Anunoby. With the 25 NBA playoffs.
Shout out po sa inyo guys. Sa mga gusto makabilang league pass, available pa rin po ang ating league pass guys. 150 pesos para sa tuloy-tuloy na panonood. Mga boss, pwede niyo po yung install sa TV niyo guys. Mayroon po kayong NBA app sa Smart TV, pwede po ito mga boss. Kung wala po mga boss, pwede kayo gumamit ng Android box. Android box or Air Stick sa TV guys. Hindi po yan. Makita niyo po ang pati buhok ng mga player. Alright. PM lang dyan sa pin comment mga boss. Dyan niyo po ko makakausap guys sa pin comment mga boss. PM is the pin. Yan. First quarter, Bridges there. 4th head coach Rick Carlisle about his impact.
Johnson plus 10 with McBride. And here's the call. The Knicks are going to challenge. Reggie, that ball is off Matherin. Ayan. Yan. Grabe, laban. At least the first 20 minutes of this game for the Knicks. Turnovers in there. Horrible defense. Clemens into the pass. Just the rebound.
That's a turnover for the Knicks. And a bunch of it in game one. Here comes Tucker.
This time he'll do a simple dunk. Remember, he missed one of those in game one. Probably heard a little bit of on the bench from Carlisle.
Shout out sa iyo, Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
7 for Indiana though, and they only had 7 the entire 53 minutes the other night. Brunson.
I cannot rave enough about the footwork of Jalen Brunson. I mean, it is immaculate.
Brunson's got 2 in the quarter, 11 for the game. 3, Halliburton, no. The high bounce again. That's all he shoots when he misses. Those high bounces. Rebound collected by Hart. The driving Bridges. And he's picked up by Halliburton. 3 to play in the half. Bridges struggling tonight. Another shot. 3. No. Robinson tries to get it and smeared out of the air by Nembhard with a timeout taken by Indiana. Knicks by 1. They've led by 7. Pacers have led by 10. Eastern Conference Finals on TNT.
Shout out sa iyo, Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin. Shout out sa iyo, Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin. Shout out sa'yo. Ang shout out sa'yo. Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
Working on Hart and takes it in hard, and it was knocked away with nice defense by Hart.
Well, if you're Rick Carlisle, you're saying to yourself, we're down one, and our leader and best player, Halliburton, has not even scored a bucket.
Amazing. He's going to gash the defense here with the drive, a twist, a contorted shot. Another Robinson rebound. He's collected 7 off the bench.
Mitchell Robinson playing huge minutes right here. Has not gone back to the bench since he first came in.
What a playoff force he has been. Brunson, Nimhard will defend.
I don't know how you guard him, because he's so good at going over his left and right shoulder.
Halliburton steering his way on the fly with a teardrop off
There
the
it
glass
is.
for 2.
His
One of
first bucket.
6.
Let's talk about Brunson. I know that's something you spent a lot of time working on when you were in college, working with the great Kiki Vandeweghe, who had worked with the great Pete Newell on all that footwork.
And there's a foul on Shepard, trying to watch the ball handler, Jalen Brunson. It is his first.
Mitchell Robinson just impacting this game in so many ways with relentless effort at both. They're trying to block him out, Reg, with 3 guys, and it doesn't matter. He's able to come up with the ball, and he's getting it done at the defensive end as well.
How has New York tried to slow down Indiana's pace?
Well, number one, their defense has been much more extended here, right? So it's not allowing the Pacers to kind of get that runway start. And again, they are extending their defense to the three-point line. You see how the Pacers are struggling from that three-point line. Remember how well, this is going to be the first break for Mitchell Robinson. And how about this Garden applause
Standing
for Robinson?
Standing.
16 straight minutes.
Wow, that's
with
amazing.
that effort, and you talk about slowing a pace. Kevin, if you can't get a rebound, it's hard to run. And Indiana's
Shout
having a
out sa
tremendous
iyo,
time getting a
Uncle
rebound with Mitchell
Michael.
Robinson in the
Salamat
game.
sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
Brunson is at the line, 2 of 2. And Brunson has the last 6 New York Knicks points. Minute and a half to play in the half. Top into Halliburton. Cross court, athletic catch, bobbled, reeled in. Siakam finishes well after what looked like a play blown. And he puts in his 23rd point.
Where would the Pacers be offensively in this game without the services of Siakam?
Only player in double figures for Indiana. Brunson and Nimhard again.
Look at that. Look at the fadeaway. I mean, it is pure butter by Brunson. Because if you jump and try to contest it and go into his body, he's going to fake and get the foul.
Neesmith knocked away. Brunson out of bounds off of New York as Brunson has the
And
last
coach,
8 by
look at the
the
footwork.
Knicks.
Look at the footwork here. He's always on balance, comes to a jump stop, the shoulders shrug, fade away.
And he's in rhythm, right?
Always in rhythm.
Knicks are led by 7, up by 3. It's Siakam, hard as
Shout out sa iyo, Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
Trying to gouge his way. Here's a pass. And it's up and in. Neesmith puts it through, and he's got 5. First 2 in the quarter.
Well, he's just waiting for the last 5 minutes coming.
Shout out to you, Uncle Michael. Thank you for donating. You are now our top donor.
And then puts that one up, and Siakam collects the miss. Half minute to go in the half. Indiana shooting 49%. The Knicks are shooting 47% in this one.
Shout out to you,
Siakam
Uncle Michael.
playing with incredible confidence tonight after a 17-point game one. Doubled, fires, and a Towns rebound. And a foul, Indiana. It's on Halliburton. One on him.
Shout out
Coming
Sale,
up, the American
and call
Express
Michael.
Halftime Report.
Salamat sa
Shaq,
pag-donate.
and
Ikaw
Draymond
na ang
Green
top donor
are all ready.
natin.
Look at Shaq.
Shout
He's
out
always the
sa
team guy,
iyo,
straightening out the
Uncle
tie, making
Michael.
sure the lapel
Salamat
is
sa
ready to go.
pag-donate. Ikaw na ang
Draymond
top
watching and
donor
smiling.
natin.
Kenny shaking his head, can't figure out why it's even going on. But there it is, and there they are. A Hall of Fame crew ready to bring you our halftime. Hart at the line.
Not a very smart foul there by Halliburton.
They bring back in Robinson and Bridges, New York does.
They're going to go after an offensive rebound and make sure that Towns doesn't get another foul. But Hart's going to basically end up taking a half-court shot right there, and instead, Halliburton sends him to the free throw line.
It's all about those little plays, Coach, that add up over the course of a game.
Absolutely.
And come back to bite you.
Especially against a team like the Knicks, who have played 7 one-possession games already in these playoffs. Plays like that turn a game.
And both teams, guys, have come back in many games in these playoffs.
And what's scary is this comes down to being a one-possession game, a lot like it was in game one. Jalen Brunson, who has it absolutely going here in this first half, is in rhythm.
Hart. Lead is 3. 1.5 to go in the half.
What you don't want here is a silly turnover.
Long shot, Halliburton. Halftime is here. Siakam's 23 points for the Indiana Pacers are a playoff career high for a half for him. We'll take a break and then take you to our studio high atop the floor of Madison Square Garden. The Eastern Conference
Shout out
Finals
sa
on
iyo,
TNT,
Uncle
presented by
Michael.
AT&T.
Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
nga pala, hindi ako doktor. Kasi naman ano, gusto daw ni manood. Naawa naman ako, kaya ako sumunod. Sinamahan ko na siya sa dilim kasi duwag yan. Hawak ko kamay niya, kasi bulag yan. Dapat alalayan, baka mawala yan. Pero nandiyan ka pala, di ko na malayan. Siya'y hinalikan at kaya ko nagawa yan. Nausap ko siya, kaya aking nilawayan. Bala kong punasan, kasi nabasayan. Hawak ko yung panty niya, kala ko basahan. Pusang bumaba, pero di ko binabayan. Mga palusot, lulusot kaya yan. Ikaw na ang pinaka, sa akin lagi bida ka. Pero bakit ka ganyan, sa akin lagi duda ka. Kung nakita mong nakasama ko yung mga chick, di sa akin yung kundi kay yawasak asakasik. Dahil ako ay tapat at hindi nagsinungaling. Sa ibang babae, di nahuhumali at hindi nabali. Aking pagtingin, ako ay napatingin, yung nakaiba ka sa kain. Mapuna nila na hindi na ko available, na yun ang mga hot chick. GFO ay flammable, baka lumilap, neselosa yung silap. Pag nagaling yung malap, ay natigil sila. akalain mo ang kayo sa simpihan. Higaan mo ang katulong. May puto na may tumor. Ayaw nga pala, hindi ako doktor. Kasi naman gusto naman ko. Naawa naman ako, kaya ako sumunod. Sinamahan ko na siya sa sinunod. Yan, hawak ko kamay niya. Kasi ulat yan, dapat alalayan. Baka mawala yan. Pero ako nga pala, hindi ko makalayan. Kaya nalipay at kaya ko nagawa yan. Kaya ako ginawa yan.
add wings to my grocery list.
It's a one-possession game at halftime, going to the second half. Game 2 Eastern Conference Finals at Madison Square Garden. Kevin Harlan, Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, Coach Stan Van Gundy. We'll talk about some coaching adjustments that you think you've seen coming in and what you may expect in the second half, and they're presented by Progressive.
Yeah, look, it's simple. It's stuff we've talked about the whole series. Indiana's got to keep New York off the offensive glass. New York's second in the playoffs in second chance points, and they've already got 10 tonight. New York's got to take care of the ball. We know that's been a problem. Game 1, they had 15 turnovers, already 8 tonight.
And Allie, the Knicks have ended the first quarter on a 17-5 run and ended the second quarter on a 10-6 run.
That's right. That's right. And I spoke to the Pacers assistant coaching staff, and they told me we looked at the possession game at the half. We looked at the rebounding. New York has 6 offensive rebounds, just like Stan said, and the free throws. That was the difference. He said offensively, we've been stagnant. We rely and we feed off of our motion and our movement, and we are settling for ISOs and jumpers. We have to get our flow back on offense, guys.
Good stuff. You know, watching that Oklahoma City-Minnesota series, the third quarters have been big for the Thunder, and I kind of get the feeling that the third quarter is going to be big in this one.
It usually is. I mean, whoever comes out of that timeout, but, you know, in these games, honestly, it's every minute of the 48 important.
Well, Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, 2 of 10 combined 4 points. Those guys were big, especially Turner in that first quarter in game 1. But he's got to find a way to stay on the court.
So Indiana, who only had 7 turnovers in game 1, 7 already here as we start this second half. Nembhard, Halliburton, Turner 3, Bridges defends, rebound Hart.
Well, just what Reggie said, Rick Carlisle tried to get Miles Turner going, a little pin down there for him to get a catch-and-shoot 3.
3 Towns. Rebound Halliburton, we've had 8 ties and 10 lead changes. Halliburton and Bridges. It's Siakam for 3, close Anunoby, count the triple, ring it up, he's got 26.
He has been the lone bright star offensively here for the Pacers. But who's going to come along for the ride?
Brunson has been incredibly important. When he's in the game, they're plus 17. When he's out, minus 14. 3 won't fall. Out of bounds it goes. Ricochets away. New York's ball.
Too early to challenge here if you're Rick Carlisle. He's looking for over the back there by Towns.
Bench points are even at 9 apiece. Surprise, guys?
Well, look, New York's bench has been better than Indiana's bench throughout the playoffs. It's just that Indiana's bench plays a lot more minutes, and it's part of their whole philosophy of wearing teams down.
Towns pickpocketed and converted with nice transition points at the other end by Nembhard.
And Coach, there's to your point about turnovers for the Knicks.
Well, there it is, their 9th turnover for 11 Indiana points. Indiana had 27 points off New York's 15 turnovers the other night.
It's Brunson. Inside the Hart, sandwiched with the defense. Look at the hustle and the dive by Siakam, and held by Anunoby. They'll jump the ball.
Let's take a look at our AT&T connected cam. And here's the defense, a little swipe down, and it's off to the races for Indiana.
Shout out sa iyo. Ang goal, Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
The juices back rolling the way they were in the first half.
Well, again, both teams
Shout out sa iyo. Ang goal, Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
And get out and run. Now again, that's really tougher for the Pacers on the road, but we saw them do that in those last 5 minutes of game 1.
Smith was on Brunson. Halliburton watches Bridges set up in the lane.
For Bridges, again, they're going to keep attacking Halliburton.
Halliburton and Towns is there. Lasers one.
Shout out sa iyo. Ang goal, Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
Halliburton is 1 of 7
But
in
here,
this game too.
when you switch and you've got Towns out there on Halliburton, you know that there's a mismatch down below with Miles Turner because it's Bridges who is guarding Halliburton.
Bridges picks up the first. Miles Turner at the free throw line for the Indiana Pacers. As we take a look at our FanDuel live point spread for tonight's game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, beginning at -6, now -3.5. Pacers were plus 12 points shooting threes in game 1. Tonight, +3 so far.
No, but they got most of those late in the game.
Yes, they did.
The other night also. So long way to go in this one.
Here's Anunoby. Towns averting the defense of Turner, takes it in hard. Count it. Bodies on the floor like bowling pins, and Towns slow to get up. Turner had to help to get himself hoisted off the floor.
I've been so impressed by Karl Anthony Towns. His game off the dribble here. And it doesn't matter if they're bigs or smalls. Miles Turner is going to have to do a better job of keeping the big cat in front of him.
Well, he did what a lot of guards tend to do at times. Is he
Shout
turned
out
his head to
sa'yo,
look for the
ang
screen.
Cole Michael.
Towns able to drive
Salamat
the
sa
other way. When you're
pag-donate.
squared
Ikaw
up
na ang top
on the guy
donor
with the ball,
natin.
you've got to lock in on his gut and focus on staying in front of the ball. You can get some help on a pick and roll. You can't get any help when he drives the ball the other way.
Towns again, All-NBA, 5-time All-Star, and he's up there, and he now has 15. And a half in the third. Halliburton, Turner setting up. Weaving, driving, slamming, Halliburton.
And not settling. A couple times Halliburton could have jacked up a three. Nice job there of getting all the way to the rim.
And a great seal in there by Miles Turner. Sealed off Bridges' help.
Hart. Towns. Turner.
Got numbers.
And it goes in wide open, ready, aim, fire, Halliburton, a triple.
First of the evening.
Got 7. Brunson will bulldoze his way in, hit the deck. Towns picked it up. Turner turned it away. Out of bounds, Indiana's ball.
Indiana's defense here the last couple of possessions, outstanding.
Siakam up top, and now it's Halliburton. And Hart will be on it. Shot clock is down to 6. Neesmith slashes, got it.
Well, here's that spurt ability that Charles was talking about at halftime that Indiana can throw on you. A little 7-0 run here by the Pacers.
And a lead of 5. They've led by 10. 4 minutes gone, third quarter. And Brunson.
Shout out sa'yo, ang Cole Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
Bridges. He's got 7.
Well, Neesmith came back to help Halliburton. They did not want Halliburton on Brunson one-on-one. So 2 guys end up on Brunson, and Bridges wide open for a layup.
Each bench with 9. Starters begin the second half. Neesmith inside. Towns grabs the ball, sheds the D, fouled on the play.
And here's what we're talking about on this last bucket. Here, Bridges sets the screen. Brunson's on Halliburton. Neesmith comes back because he doesn't want Halliburton on him one-on-one. Bridges wide
Shout
open.
out
And this is just
sa'yo,
not a smart
ang
foul.
Cole
Good effort,
Michael.
but he got the
Salamat
ball,
sa
let it go.
pag-donate.
Do not
Ikaw na ang
give
top
away
donor
fouls like
natin.
that. 2 team fouls already.
Second on Neesmith.
Well, number one, that was a bad shot selection there by Neesmith. That's not his game. His game is catch and shoot corner threes like we saw here in game 1. And then you compound that with the foul after that.
Ben Shepard has checked in for Neesmith.
Lloyd Pierce just talking to Neesmith about that. Neesmith trying to explain himself. Lloyd Pierce said no.
A burst by Brunson. Good feed, Bridges. The fadeaway. Halliburton the other way. Siakam. Count it, foul. Those long strides are something else.
Boy, Pascal Siakam, he is absolutely having his way with the New York Knicks. Contact down low, the concentration.
And 28 points for Indiana.
Smoke roll the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell.
All right, fans, now time for Knicks playoff trivia. Please welcome our contestant Brianna from section 214. For each question Brianna gets correct, it's $500. All right, here we go.
Nagulat na lang ako, umupo sa tabi ko, utak ko ay nalito, ang isip ay naligaw, kamukha mo kasi siya, kaya kala ko ikaw, napagkamalan ko lang, kaya sana wag mo nang isipin na ako, babaero may libang, babae na kirida, madami na
Shout out sa iyo. Shout out sa iyo, Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin. Shout out sa iyo, Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
akalain mong magkikita tayo sa sinihan, hayaan mo munang sabihin.
Shout out sa iyo, Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
Naman ano, gusto daw ni manood, naawa naman ako, kaya ako sumunod, sinamahan ko na siya, sa dilim kasi duwag yan, hawak ko kamay niya, kasi bulag yan, dapat alalayan, baka mawala yan, pero nandiyan ka pala, di ko na
Tested with an autographed jersey and her winnings of $1,500. Thanks for playing Knicks playoff trivia.
You're a Hoops fan, or if you just love drama, the Knicks.
What we do here is go back.
Uncle Michael. Salamat sa pag-donate. Ikaw na ang top donor natin.
If you don't like what is being said, change the conversation.
What is that conversation?
New York City is in decay. The Madison Square Garden
again low at 5. Anunoby got the screen. Setting up. It's a 3-over tournament. Rebound by Halliburton. He's got 6. Going inside in the corner. A Shepherd 3, a Towns rebound, the outlet to Bridges. Brunson. Oklahoma City and others. Cleveland, Boston. Bridges here. of his hands, but it is off of Indiana.
But again, an
7 on the clock.
extra possession created by Robinson on the offensive glass.
Right, he will not get credit for an offensive rebound, but I believe that is the third one tonight where he's been fighting like that ball went out of bounds and New York gets an extra possession.
Nimhard for Neesmith. Indiana leads this series 1-0. Game 2 tonight, game 3 Sunday in Indy. Bridges. Nimhard on him. Shot clock at 2.
Oh, man, what a tough shot there by Bridges. He has come on here in this second half.
It's Turner. Off the glass and down for the deuce in the 3-point Pacer lead, and he's got 8.
So, Coach, if you're Coach Thibodeau, how long are you keeping Brunson over there on the bench?
Well, I think they're going to give him another couple of minutes.
Oh, McBride just turned it over.
And that's just the turnovers. That's 12 now for New York.
Number 15 in game 1 for 27 Pacers points.